Hello again. This is Touch Love Worldwide Broadcasting Service, continuing to present Touch Love Worldwide UK's Constitution. Um, this is part 2. I've done the first video on part 1. This is part 2, and part 2 runs from page 4 to page 15 of the Constitution. I'll try to do the whole part 2 in this video so that people can listen to them in segments. This will be obviously longer than the first one. So I will read out the Constitution. The idea being, if you haven't watched the first part, is I'm trying to read that part of the Constitution because I recognize that people don't have the time to read a large document. But the content of the Constitution is very important, and I'd like people to be able to engage with it and ask questions that they have. And of course, I'm inviting everybody to be part of this movement of love. So I'll go on to read part 2. Part 2 deals with the aims, principles, philosophy, and objectives. And paragraph 5 is where I'm starting, and that is headed aims. The party's primary purpose is to stand for election in all UK elections and be elected by an informed populace who recognizes the party's policies, principles, and philosophy as a breath of fresh air, a much-needed alternative, the new direction presently unavailable anywhere in the world, and a blueprint to build on, adopt, practice, and be held accountable to, thereby providing a reference model for other parts of the world. The party seeks a support base of voters who engage with and share the party's passion for a love-ruled country. Voters will be encouraged to question their own individual role in self, collective, and corrective governance. This is paragraph 5 of the Constitution, and I'm going to go on and read paragraph 6, which is part of the aims and objective. Primarily, the party is about self-governance. We have to govern ourselves first, allow the love within us to come out, to expand us, to radiate not just in our immediate community, but worldwide. So I'll get on to paragraph 6 of the Constitution. The party will contest to win elections in the UK and aims to lead by example by focusing on how to meet fundamental needs without engaging in verbal attack, aggression, and fights with people who have different views. Diversity of views is a human condition, a beauty, and a privilege which this party honors, values, and celebrates. Politics is a word which we can make into an action of our choice. If we choose to make politics love, that is what it will be. Love is able to transform anything into love. Human history has made politics a war zone, but there is no doubt whatsoever that when many like-minded humans come together to make politics love, love will rule. We can choose to move away from fighting spirit and move into loving spirit. Loving spirit is the spirit of creation, which creates beauty in mind and which accomplishes what was previously thought to be impossible. It is the spirit which can transform and create beauty out of a mess. The party aims to contribute and distribute ideas to change the inherited divisive political practices which prevent growth in the direction of collective love-energized advancement. The party recognizes the importance of opinions, the importance of diversity of politics and the manifestos. But what the party is trying to advance is a debate which radiates from love, is not an attack. The party will encourage diversity of opinions because it is a beauty that this party celebrates. Paragraph 8 of the Constitution continues. It reads, the party aims to put forward ideas and influence the implementation of ideas which will reduce incidents of unwanted disconnection, homelessness, prevent accommodation crisis, prevent illnesses, thereby reducing the pressure on hospitals and emergency services. The party aims to add a new idea to court sentencing in violent crimes and introduce a new approach to immigration law. It will learn from cultures and build a culture of low crime rates, high happiness ratings, enriching deep-rooted individual connection, independence of thought, harmonious coexistence, community connection, and freedom of association. To know how we plan to do this, please see Appendix 1 to this Constitution. Paragraph 9 of the Constitution continues. To inspire the creation of a more friendly and more connected society, conducive for individual and collective growth, a society where people use what they are and what they have to create what they need. So the party is really trying to work on independence, on freedom, on people living a full life, not depending on previous conventions, but finding the strength in them. That strength in them is the love in them, and working through that to have an enriching life. Paragraph 10 of the Constitution reads, the party is dedicated to exploring solutions towards finding better ways to reduce unwanted isolation by exploring ways and policies to meet the basic needs of conversation, engagement, connection, endearment, mind enrichment, story sharing, expanded inner love resource. Conversation is very important in this party, and conversation from drawing people from diverse locations, intellectual locations, physical location, mind location. The party is interested in bringing strands of different locations together to exchange ideas, to find the better solution, because it believes in people. It knows that people are capable, and it respects from children to adult, because it knows that even children have the most important ideas they can share and which can help build a nation. Paragraph 11 continues. The party aims to create open-air connecting talking points in which philosophy discussion platforms will be installed to balance the proliferation of eating places on the high streets which enrich the body. The party aims to install love philosophy conversation points on high streets to connect people, lift spirits, enrich thoughts, and expand the minds. This is already happening. Is not entirely new. We are having connection points. People are having installations. We are having discussion groups around London for sure. And we want to expand on this. Have installations, love installations, where difficult subjects could be discussed and prevention happen before things degenerate. What happens sometimes is that things go bad, and then we meet to find out how to solve problems. London for sure is increasing this discussion, these diverse topics, these sensitive subjects, and bringing people in 20s and in 10s having this discussion. But what the party is proposing to do is to invest, encourage people to invest in having conversation bars where there is no food being served, where people could just go in and have a proper discussion, put something on the table and begin a discussion. That is part of the party's policy. Paragraph 12 of the Constitution continues. to explore giving tax a new name, which will reflect the reasoning behind the financial contribution. The party will propose the adoption of the term love in place of tax. Paragraph 13. To explore a new system of tax, the new system will include requiring entities and individuals to participate in community service as part of meeting tax obligations. Community service will include providing space to people in the community to use free of charge for certain approved works, hosting training, participating in training by teaching skills to people who need to learn new skills, collaborating and being part of theater of conversation sessions. Individuals can take time off their paid work to participate in community love development, including the construction of love villages, the creation of breath print apps, and other community love developments. Just as individuals who represent trade unions take time off their paid employment to work for their trade unions, every worker who is called upon to do love community service will be statutorily permitted to work on the love development, and such love work can either count towards meeting the individual's tax obligation or the employer's tax, or both. This will include self-employed individuals, including carpenters, plumbers, and electricians. Paragraph 4. The party will seek to work with sports centers and gyms so that community projects can be used as part of fitness activities. Individuals will be encouraged to work in community love projects, spending the energy they would normally spend in the gym. Individuals who go to the gym daily will be encouraged to spend at least one session a week at the community love project. To explain that poverty or poor refers to needs, wants, hunger, lack, absence, death, depletion, and deficiency, and to call attention to the fact that everybody has one or more needs or lack. Therefore, every human is poor and uses own inner resource to meet own needs. Inner resource is therefore the wealth which everybody has and can strive to increase. That's paragraph 15. Paragraph 15 is drawing attention to this idea of poverty. Sometimes people think poverty is out there or poverty is other people, and people forget the poverty in own self. The party is seeking to highlight the poverty in own self. Every human being is poor and every human being is rich. Every human being is wealthy. The greatest wealth is love. Smile. Those are the wealth that every human being has. Paragraph 16. To highlight the fact that poverty is a changing state, which is fundamental to human advancement, human existence, and healthy human responses, including moderate stress, anxiety, behavior, and attitude. Poverty is an important state of being because it activates the survival hormone, which drives the body and triggers creativity. The mind is the abode from which creativity proceeds. A mind in a poor state can create destruction if the resources stored in the mind and activated by the survival hormone are of destructive nature. A destructive nature is any nature which drives a person or a people to destroy. Destruction includes personal inner war, which spills into other wars, self-destruction, and destroying others with words, destroying with acquisitions, destroying with behavior, destroying with attitude, destroying with investments. Behaviors which damage, harm, or annihilate self or other earth resources and species, including destruction of human resources, destruction of forests, the poisoning of air and water, and the depletion of inner love resources, fall into destructive nature. A non-destructive nature develops and expands inner love resource and radiates in all directions to connect individuals and societies, and creates ventures and experiences which lift, build, and nourish own spirit and give collective high. That's paragraph 16, and it's highlighting the party's core interest in developing people, in making everybody know their strength, in highlighting the fact that everybody can be destructive, but everybody can also lift others with the love within. So paragraph 16 is making the important point about this inner resource called love, which every single human being has and which we can inspire and expand. Paragraph 17 looks at to stir people's intellect to rethink their own understanding of wealth, intelligence, and power. WIP. To create awareness of the philosophy of touch love, which, if taught from antenatal clinics, will pave the way for unborn children to lead in achieving a world ruled by love. Paragraph 19. To simplify governance so that children can learn essential politics as a compulsory subject from as early an age as possible, just as they learn mathematics and other core compulsory subjects. It needs to be taught in a child-friendly, age-appropriate, captivating way so that children can be given from very early in life the tool to effectively question government decisions. To leave politics out of the early years school curriculum is to continue to make essential politics an alien subject to many. Adults who did not grasp essential politics as children do not understand politics and do lose interest and never grasp it as adults. Not every family has adults who discuss politics. Children learn at home, which is why some families produce many politicians, when others do not. Politics is not as difficult as mathematics, so there is no reason why children should not be taught essential politics from very early on, especially as political decisions have a direct impact on children's lives. It is crucial to highlight the fact that governance starts in self, and if each allows the love within self to govern the instincts in self, destructive instincts will be curtailed. This approach simplifies politics and explains that destructive instinct is that enemy breeding lack of love, and lack of love is that enemy which destroys self and others. Paragraph 20. To encourage political parties and the populace to bridge divides and to vote for the rule of love, persuading all people, entities, and political parties to give up the politics of combat and cultivate team spirit across all divides, seeing one another as part of a team of people wanting to do the best for self and others. Paragraph 21. To sow the seed of love in every space and nurture it to grow into a worldwide network of love, connecting all shapes of love and planting the rule of love in every mind. When love rules minds and rules expressions and actions, people will not harm others, and this will reduce many conflicts and some incidents of violence. Paragraph 22. To highlight the important role pregnant women can play in molding the future and highlight the intelligence of children and their potential as leaders in love. Paragraph 23. To create love stops and love energy filling station in prominent and non-prominent parts of local communities, where the love stops will be encountered unexpectedly like one encounters wildflowers. Love stops and love energy filling stations are places where people can stop to refill their love tanks as cars stop to refill their fuel tanks. A love stop will have many inspiring, healing, and building features, including philosophical installations designed to make people think about the important role love plays in personal and collective advancement and well-being, and how to tap the inexhaustible love energy. Love stops are meeting points for people of all ages. Paragraph 24. To promote the rule of love. The rule of love develops and increases inner love resources, transforming instincts to love and creating beauty, which benefits self and others, including non-human beings. Paragraph 25. It aims to inspire every individual to recognize own leadership skills and follow own love leadership, leading own self in love by leading own self out of what is not love into all that is love. It aims to offer creative and mind-enriching alternative ways of doing things, being a purveyor of inspiring ideas which will stir the love energy of the populace and motivate individuals to participate in government by opening up their love reserve and governing own self with love resource. If I may pause there, Touch Love Worldwide seeks to touch people like you and I, people who may not have been interested in politics because they couldn't engage with it, because they weren't brought up in homes where politics were being discussed. It wants to reach those people who would not normally vote. Everybody understands love, and everybody needs love. And it is the aim of Touch Love Worldwide UK to reach every single person who loves love and encourage them to contribute their love into running the country. Paragraph 27. There is love energy within every individual which can be activated. When activated, it radiates to create beauty, not only in the mind, body, and condition of an individual, but also lifts a community into a place of beauty, creating awareness of this love energy and inspiring individuals to research it and explore ways to tap into it is part of Touch Love Worldwide UK's aim. Paragraph 28. Touch Love Worldwide UK aims to be a rallying party which brings a community together to see the value of expansive and accommodating spirit, commonality, variety, uniqueness, and diversity. It aims to see through the eyes of pregnancy, to connect all pregnancies and afterbirths, past, present, and the future. By approaching policies and governance through the eyes of pregnancy and placenta, it homes into what all people have in common, recognizes the contribution of all earth forms, including the land which provides food, and the importance of each and every being on earth, not just human beings. That is the end of the aims. Now I'll go on to read principle. Paragraph 29. The age of the internet has made the world an entity where what happens in one part is immediately known in another. Though from time immemorial, what happens in one part of the world has always affected all of the earth. Many people need conversation and feed this need through social media. There is legitimate concern about the long-term health consequences of staring at screens and looking down on handheld devices. It is within this context that Touch Love Worldwide UK is a rallying call to people in the UK, but echoed around the world. A call to all people to invest in love, to invest in conversation, to invest in connection, to invest in theater of conversation where we come together and discuss face to face. Paragraph 30. Touch Love Worldwide UK recognizes that lack of love is an infectious disease which kills a society, a poverty which destroys generations, a disabling condition which stalks to kill, and the worst human condition because it eats the heart, the mind, and core, and holds its victim a prisoner in an infectious, damaged, but poisonous state of existence and consciousness. Paragraph 31. Touch Love Worldwide UK's primary aim is to out and expose that disease known as lack of love so that people may see it for what it is and rally together to forge an unbreakable love alliance, focusing on love resources which energize human mind and intelligence to advance far above and beyond the mundane and divisive into love-powered ways which benefit not just one part of the world, but all individuals and communities. Touch Love UK, Touch Love Worldwide UK proceeds from the premise that love is the greatest wealth and the greatest intelligence, that the greatest energy is supplied by love. Love's energy lifts the spirit high and gets the body to arise and do what was thought to be impossible. This is paragraph 32, and if I pause there, it is recognized that there are other energies. There is the energy called anger. It does its own work. There are other energies, but the importance of love energy is that it lifts the person who has it, who it is supplying its energy, into its euphoric state, where there is beauty, where there is healing, where everybody is one and everybody is seen as the same. That is the difference in the energy supplied by love. And that is why Touch Love Worldwide UK wants to commission the exploration of how to expand this. We have learned how to explore crude oil, but inside of us is the greatest energy which we can learn how to explore, drill, and use to make our world and other people's world beautiful, because the greatest and most beautiful energy that gives you pure beauty is the energy supplied by love. I move on to paragraph 33, which is headed Philosophy. Touch Love Philosophy recognizes the strength of individual uniqueness in collective advancement. Every individual is a life force of love with profound potential to build great beauty out of great mess, heal self and others, and lift spirits high into that much sought after euphoric state of love. When the love within is touched, it is activated, beams and energizes both individual and collective love-propelled advancement. If I pause there, paragraph 33, yes, it is recognized when you look at the world, there are all these beautiful monuments that have been built throughout history. Some of them built after some war. So it is true that war gives its own energy. War achieves its own end. But the difference between the energy of war and the energy of love is that where war creates wounds from the past to the future, creates division, there's never a winner, people are hurting even after the war. Love heals. The energy of love does not leave residual pain and wound. It brings together. It makes everybody see their own reflection in the other. So where war divides and destroys, love unites and lifts. Paragraph 34. Rooted in the philosophy of Touch Love Worldwide UK recognizes the uphill task it faces as a movement which seeks to unset minds which are already set on habitual way of thinking about wealth, intelligence, and power. Power struggle has become a sport of trading insults and blows sometimes, and people have become accustomed to the overtures of this way of doing things and are excited to participate. Political parties are not immune, and taking sides to destroy the opposing side has become a game which entertains the populace in a political arena which has become a sporting arena. These inherited traits of entertaining human spirits by divisive measures, by competitive acts, and by taking sides have been handed down practices from time immemorial and will not be easy to unseat. So Touch Love Worldwide recognizes this difficulty. Paragraph 35. Love is profound and needs no introduction. What needs introduction is touch love legislation, which recognizes love as being over and above law, so makes love the overriding principle and objective in all acts, decisions, expressions, and investments for the purposes of individual and collective advancement. When love rules minds, law will become obsolete. Love lifts spirits and gives confidence. Destructive insecurity has no place in a mind secured by love. A mind secure in mind is ruled by love. When the security that we have is love and nothing else, if it is love that is our security, there won't be insecurity. Paragraph 36. Tapping the inexhaustible love resource will create a world where no one is seen as superior and another inferior. The present is full of many claiming to be superior and looking down on others who do not think as they think. Many books and past stories create this way of thinking. Tapping into the inexhaustible love resource will create a world where role models are the air we breathe and teachers are the herbs which heal, the plants and flowers which beautify our paths, and the lifting scents on our paths, and plants which plant smiles to blossom on our faces and touch our spirits with beauty. Those should be our role models. The air we breathe should be our role models. The flowers on our path should be our role models. They do not discriminate. Air has no boundary. Those are the things that we should aim to emulate. And that is the principle and philosophy and aim of Touch Love Worldwide, to make this awareness. Paragraph 37. Humans have the ability and capacity to achieve a world where beauty of mind is the wealth, where diversity of thought, variety of uniqueness, and multiplicity of creativity are seen as the universal language, where love is recognized as the greatest intelligence, where harmony of individual uniqueness is valued, and where a world superpower is a group which has never been to war, which has never been part of a war, which has never exported weapons of any kind, but which continuously exports wise words which value all earth beings. If I pause there, look at our classification of world power. Who do we classify as world power? Who? The people who has never been to war? The people who have never been to war? Or the people who have weapons of mass destruction? Who do we classify as the world's world power? Paragraph 38. Parts of the world remain at war, and some other parts claim superiority. Though the internet connects many, and many are disconnected and live isolated. Many minds are ruled by claims of superiority, by insecurity, and by feelings of inferiority. Many thoughts disconnect communities because of superiority claims, which create some as inferior and others as superior, and which create factions of them and us. Presently, people are ruled by the thought that the greater ability a group has to kill earth beings, the more super that group's power is. So communities with nuclear weapons are given the title of superpowers, and communities which do not seek to dominate others are looked down on. Sayings and words which make some inferior and some superior rule these arenas. Great value is placed on weapons of mass destruction, and any group which exhibits unrivaled ability to mass destruct is immediately placed at the top of the list of superpowers on account of its ability to kill many and hold many to ransom due to its ability to mobilize within a very short time weapons that can kill millions in seconds. That is our present definition of world superpower. Domination, weapons of mass destruction. Those are our definition. Paragraph 40. Touch love philosophy highlights the fact that humans have the ability and capacity to achieve a world which sees poverty not as lack of money, but as lack of love. It is lack of love which creates annihilation of a person or a people. It is lack of love which creates territorial decisions, businesses, and economy which strangle life out of some whilst filling the money bank account of others. It is lack of love which destroys. It is lack of love which is the enemy. It is lack of love which is the real poverty. Paragraph 41. Humans have the ability and capacity to achieve a world where love inner resource bank account is seen as healthier, wealthier, and more powerful than money bank account. So what is love inner resource bank account? Love inner resource bank account. What is it? Humans have the ability and capacity to achieve a world where people exchange their talents to lift one another, and where money does not rule but where love does. Presently, human world economy is based on money, and money talks and rules, making the person or group which makes the most money the one which dominates the decision making about the way forward. Humans have become accustomed to this way of doing things, but each one of us can begin to question our individual roles in this. Who do we give credit? Who? Paragraph 42. Humans are intelligent enough to now realize that lack of love is a disease, but a preventable disease and a preventable death. It is an infectious disease and death which kills not just its victim, but can also kill others in the victim's world. Lack of love assumes faces and names such as revenge, to wreak havoc. When lack of love is seen as the disease and death, which it is, people will see being filled and erupting in love as the beauty which transports the spirit to a place of beauty and gets the body to do what was once thought of as impossible, a state of beauty which is achievable and enjoyable on earth. It is true that the ambition to achieve a world ruled by love is profound. But if people who looked at the moon and wished to reach it managed to achieve reaching the moon, there is no doubt that people can reach deep into themselves to touch the love they are, to flow out and rule them. The distance to the moon is far longer than the distance to the love core. The distance to the love core is only a breath away and does not cost money. The love core is right within us. You are love. I am love. Paragraph 44. Love is intelligence, and there are many people who are love intelligent. Touch Love Worldwide UK is therefore a rallying call for all love bearers and all love intelligent people to come together and institute the rule of love. If people can train dogs and horses to do great things, they can equally tame their own roar and mold it to love. All it takes is a change of mind and a focus on love. Death of the love connection point within is a preventable death. Any blockage can be unblocked. Past and present theories feed on the human need to extend and prolong life here and elsewhere. What humans can prolong on earth is the love they bear. That love can be planted, and when planted and nurtured, outlives the body. It is true that love may be said to be a vague and abstract term, but attached to this constitution is Appendix 1. And in Appendix 1 are a number of practical objectives of the party. Objectives, paragraph 46. Touch Love Worldwide UK aims to inspire and encourage people to make love the foundation of everything they do, and to encourage businesses and other entities to engage with the concept of life of pregnancy. to encourage people to openly discuss the concept of afterbirth worldwide and motivate them to participate in the performance and discussion of the concept of life of pregnancy. This is a party that places pregnancy at its heart. You are pregnant. I am pregnant. What are you going to deliver? Are you going to deliver love? What do you bear? What is within you? Are you love? Are you going to give birth to love? Paragraph 48. To remain active to the fact that mistakes will be made along the way, but will continue to make a way anyway. To make a start, build on the start, even if the start is a mess, and grow through all mistakes. Touch Love Worldwide UK will not allow obstacles to stop it from carrying out the project of instituting the rule of love. As I stated in the first video, the starting point for anyone wanting to be associated with Touch Love Worldwide UK is the acceptance that we are mistake makers. From our mistakes, we can create beauty. From our mess, we can create something valuable. Paragraph 49. To put the following questions to the members of the public, including those applying to join Touch Love Worldwide UK as active members. A. Will you join the movement of love? B. Will you vote to change whatever part of your own mindset, which is not love, to become love, which loves all? It's always easy for us to point at other people, but when we are told to change our own self, we will prefer the status quo to remain. Oh, I'm not going to change, we will say. But it's so easy to expect others to change. If I cannot change that which is difficult for me, how can I expect the next person to change that which is difficult for them? C. Will you work to change yourself to become the love you want to see in others, recognizing that the faults you see in others mirror some of your own imperfections? Will you join in researching your own community to find out what the present generation and all ancestors did well, which we should emulate, and be bold to realize what they did badly, which we should not repeat? E. Will you give room to hear diversity of thought, knowing that it is a beauty of the earth to have both minds which do not always agree and minds which always meet on points? F. Will you research the food that worked well empowering the love intellect and the food that poisoned all on its path, which we must put away? G. Words are food, habits are food, and so are acts. Will you join the movement of Touch Love? H. What talent do you have? I. What talent can you use to lift spirits on your path? J. Will you carry a placard of love, which has been called a mess, and create beauty out of any mess? K. If given a chance at the general election or at any election, will you vote for love? Will you vote to love for love's sake only? L. Will you be at its forefront and vote for the rule of love? M. Do you subscribe to the supremacy of love? N. Touch Love Worldwide UK aims to make love visible at all times and puts love at the core of greetings. Do you subscribe to using one or more of the following as part of your individual or corporate greeting? Love to me always. Love to you always. Love to all always. Love to all earth and non-earth beings always. Paragraph 50. This is the last paragraph of part 2. Love is profound and needs no introduction to a being who is love at the core. Each earth being is a shape of love, with the love with the power to love, the power of love. If all come together to work on touch love idea as beings with a common purpose and as beings who breathe air in common, a start can be made. Mistakes will be made, but such mistakes will lead to a better understanding and to a love-induced growth. Will you vote for love to govern your instincts? Love to you always. Love to all always.